So I am back with the analysis of the Hindu, another day, another set of news. So good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the program. I request all my students to subscribe to our YouTube channel, help us improve our program by providing your comments against the program. We value your response. Like our Facebook pages and join our social media platforms. So we are already a bit late by a few minutes, so I am not going to spend much time for further introduction. I am getting into the program straight away. We are going to analyze the Hindu dated January 6. The Supreme Court clears Centre's plan to build a 3 times bigger Parliament building. We have already discussed in detail about the Central Vista project. So the Supreme Court has given a go ahead to the program by the government. Pune is the hub to track vaccine chains across 41 key cities. So let us begin. The Supreme Court has said that it cannot get into the so-called development activities proposed by the state. So the curtain has risen for the construction of the new Parliament building. The 93-year-old existing Parliament building will become a thing of the past, and that will be replaced by a 3 times bigger Parliament building, which will house around 1,200 members of Parliament. Of course, all those things were in detail discussed in our previous episodes. So you may please watch our previous episodes in which we discuss those things. It's very, very important. It's a mammoth project. I think if my memory is anything to go by, the Parliament construction project is going to cost the exchequer around 970 crore rupees, and the entire Central Vista project will cost the exchequer around 10,000 plus 11,000 crore. Of course, I forgot all those details, the figures, but in my previous classes I included those things. So ensure that you revisit those notes and keep abreast of the information. The path is cleared. The Central announces Central Vista revamp plan. It envisages a new triangular platform Parliament House with a seating capacity of 900 to 1200 MPs and several government buildings. Delhi High Court asked Delhi Development Authority to approach the court before notifying any change in the master plan before going ahead with the project. November 5, the Supreme Court reserves the verdict. December 7, Supreme Court allows Centre to proceed with the foundation stone laying ceremony for the Central Vista project, but restrains it from starting the construction. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid it on December 10, and now on January 5, Supreme Court cleared the decks for construction of the ambitious project by the government. Of course, there exists a criticism against this project. The country is going through a very, very bad phase. Economically, people are really suffering. People at the bottom of the pyramid do not have money in their hands. Economy is in real doldrums. Many businesses are suffering heavily. So during this time, do we require a showcase project of this kind? This was the criticism that the government had to answer, but it looks as if the government is in no way in a mood to answer to those questions or criticism. And now the Supreme Court has given a go ahead signal to the government. So all decks are cleared for the government to start the construction. If my memory is anything to go by, the construction has to be completed by 2022 winter session of Parliament, a very tough task. we have discussed about the quantity of solid waste that would be produced during the demolition of the existing building. Somebody is asking a question, will there be a batch starting in April last or May 1st? Yes, we may have. Okay, I am coming back to the program. Yes, we will have, Akhil. The Central Vista project, we discussed in detail what is going to be the tonnage of waste per day. It is a huge amount, I forgot, and the liters of water that is required per day to construct. So that is a huge quantity. Anyway, do we require a project of this kind to showcase the pride of the nation when the nation is really struggling? Okay, anyway, that is the reality. The Supreme Court has given the go ahead permission to the central government. So that is going to be a reality soon. The first question is given to you. Pick out among the following the most correct sequence of supply. Most correct sequence of supply chain information with regard to COVID vaccination program scheduled by the government. You are asked to find the sequence. I shall give you more than 15 seconds. The time is already up. If it were 15 seconds, please go through. A command and control center will be set up with Pune as the hub. AICLAS, I-Class, the Airport Authority of India Cargo Logistics and Allied Services Company Limited, will be the nodal body for coordinating air transportation of the vaccines among various stakeholders in the aviation sector. Vaccines dispatched by the manufacturers will arrive at the 4 big airports of Karnal, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. From the 4 airports, vaccines will be sent to 37 airports or cities, each of which has got a government medical store depot of the central government. Vaccines will be sent to district depots and PHCs for the final administration of vaccines. Yes, let the responses come. You are asked to find out the sequence of events. Mind you, a question on our vaccination program is a sure shot. What is a sequence of events? How the government has planned the sequence of events? That is the question. Rose opted for option 3, Ruchi 5, Manju, Akhil, Vishnupriya 1, Akhil Aravind 5. Okay, listen, this is what the government has planned. We know about CoWIN, our IT platform to implement the vaccination program. Listen, this is going to be the biggest vaccination program ever in the world. The vaccination, COVID vaccination in India. A very important question. And the correct answer here is the first option, A, B, C, D, E. I have given it in this right sequence. A command control center will be set up in Pune as the hub. Airport Authority of India's Cargo Logistics and Allied Company will be the nodal body for coordinating air transportation. Vaccines will be dispatched to 4 airports of Karnal, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. From these 4 airports, it will be sent to 37 airports or cities, where you can locate a central government medical depot, where from the medicines will be sent to public health centers or district depots. So this is the government program, very important. Please read. Just imagine the front page of a national daily gives a huge space to this news item. That in itself speaks for the importance of the program. So very, very important. Please take note. This is how we are going to implement the biggest vaccination program ever in the world. This is explained. Pune hub to track vaccine chain across 41 key cities. Pune is the hub where from the medicines will be given to first 4 airports and then to 37 airports. We have just discussed everything which is covered in the news is given through the question number 1. So, please read and take note if I have left out anything. Second question comes to you now. The Prime Minister of Britain, Boris Johnson, has cancelled his proposed visit to India when he was to be the chief guest of the Republic Day Parade 2021. The reason cited was, why has he cancelled his visit to India? He was to be the chief guest of the 2021 Republic Day Parade. What is your answer? I await your response. Okay, the second option is proposed by many. It was in view of the escalation of COVID-19 situation in the country and national lockdown announced. Yes, national lockdown was announced in Britain. A lockdown was announced in Britain as the new strain of coronavirus spreads very fast in UK. It is expected that the new complete lockdown in UK will continue till February last or half of March. Okay, situations are grim in Britain. So, Boris Johnson is not coming to India to attend the Republic Day Parade as its chief guest. He has communicated the matter personally to our Prime Minister, and our Prime Minister said he could understand. That is what the newspaper report says. He shares his concern. So, we are proceeding. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson calls off India's India visit. Prime Minister has cancelled his visit to India in the last week of January when he was to be the chief guest at the Republic Day Parade. Prime Minister spoke to the Prime Minister Modi to express his regret that he will not be able to visit later this month as planned, says the 10 Downing Street. What is 10 Downing Street? 10 Downing Street is the official residence of the Prime Minister of UK. In light of the lockdown announced last night and the speed at which the new coronavirus variant is spreading, Prime Minister said it was important for him to remain in UK so he can focus on domestic response. Indian Prime Minister expressed his understanding of the situation in the UK and conveyed his best wishes for the quick control, said our press release. So that's it. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is not going to participate, is not participating in the upcoming Republic Day Parade where he was supposed to be the chief guest. Third question, Muradnagar in UP's Gazhiabad district was in the news recently because, why was Muradnagar in UP's Gazhiabad district was in the news? In a hospital here, 51 patients were killed for the want of oxygen cylinders. It was reported that nearly 87% of the infants born here in the last 1 year were underweight. The collapse of a newly built shelter in a crematorium resulted in the killing of nearly 25 people. The 25th IIM of the country is coming up here. None of these. What's your answer? Okay, I took a few minutes to prepare the choices to camouflage the answer, but you took a very few seconds to get the correct one. I am very happy to know that. Third answer choice is the correct one. There was a reported collapse of a newly built shelter in a crematorium resulted in killing of nearly 25 people. These are sad stories. These are really sad stories in India. It was a newly constructed building which shows the poor quality of public works. Very unfortunate that people lose their lives for reasons where they don't have a choice, reasons of public apathy. Anyway, it is quite unfortunate, but please read Muradabad in UP was in the news for the collapse of the newly built shelter in a crematorium that killed 25 people. Moribund governance. The Gazhiabad disaster underscores the need for regular audit of civic projects. The Hindu uses very strong language to criticize what happened in Muradabad. Even to those familiar with the anarchy that characterizes India's public spaces, the collapse of a newly built shelter in a crematorium in Muradnagar in UP's Gazhiabad district, killing at least 24 people, is a shock. A group attending a funeral sheltered from rain in the structure when its roof crumbled. The deaths and injuries have left families distraught. Since women are not part of the funeral rites in crematoria, they came to know of the fate of the men much later. A token solatium has been announced by the UP government for the next of the kin of the dead and relief measures for others, but the loss of breadwinners who were in low paying jobs has left the family members destitute. Look, in an incident that took only a few seconds to happen, many families lost their breadwinners. That is the enormity of the situation. A compensation from the government will not be enough. The real audit must have taken place for all civic projects. We know about a famous bridge, notoriously constructed bridge in Kochi, which was constructed only 1 to 2 years ago, but it has to be completely demolished and rebuilt. So public funds, public money is lost, it goes to waste. So this sort of poor construction must be seriously taken care of by governments. England in lockdown. In a bid to control the spread of the highly transmissible new COVID-19 variant VOC 202012/01, the UK announced on Monday a fresh lockdown in London and southeast England, which is expected to be enforced till mid-February. So the lockdown is going to continue till mid-February. The decision comes after much dithering. The government deterred to take a decision. The scientific advisory panel had recommended days before Christmas that the government consider a national lockdown, including shutting down educational institutions. As on January 4, the UK has reported 2.7 million cases and 75,500 deaths, the second highest death toll in Europe. More than 50,000 new cases have been reported daily, and the peak took place on January 4, where 400 death. Now it's 400 death, and the peak reported on December 29, 59,000 cases. So it is the winter time in Europe. So during winter time, the virus spread may take place in a more vigorous manner, and it will be difficult to control the coronavirus. So bad time for Europe, bad time for Britain. Britain has gone for a national lockdown. This has happened at a time when we were hoping that the world was coming out of the grip of the pandemic. The fourth question comes to you. The Prime Minister of India inaugurated the 450-kilometer piped natural gas project connecting Kochi and which place? Chennai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Mysore, none of these. What is your answer? I will not give you much time. It was a major headline of one of the inner pages. Yes, please, quickly. Akhil says it is Mysore. Anjana says it is the fifth option. Okay, the answer is the fifth option. It is not Mysore, as a few people voted for. It is Mangalore. It is not Bangalore, it is Mangalapuram, Mangalore. Kochi, Kutanad, Mangalore. It is Kochi, Kutanad, Mangalore. Country is going for a one nation, one pipeline. We have got ambitious target, that too we discussed once in one of our previous episodes. It is not Bangalore, it is Mangalore. Gas will be transported. People had apprehensions that a live gas pipeline going through their area will be dangerous. That was one of the concerns. Another concern was that people had to leave their lands. So collateral value is very high in Kerala. So people did not want to lose their lands. But anyway, finally the government has, or governments, both the central and the state governments, have taken a very strong stand, and the project has become a reality. Fifth question. The government plans to increase the share of natural gas in the energy sector from the present 6% to -% by 2030. I discussed this question earlier, I remember. Yes. What is the answer? Okay, all of you got it correct. It is 15%. Very important. In the energy basket of India, the present contribution is only 6%, the present contribution of natural gas. If in our energy basket 100 things come, 6 things come from 6%. If total 100, only 6% or 6 come from natural gas. We know that natural gas is a very pure fuel, a very clean fuel. So the percentage of natural gas will be increased from the present 6% to 15% by 2030. We know that we have got international commitment. We are a member of the Paris Agreement. We have made a self-made commitment that we will reduce emissions by 2030. So as per those, we have to make concrete actions on the ground, and this is one of the actions. By 2030, the proportion of natural gas in our energy basket will be 15% from the present 6%. Prime Minister inaugurates Kochi Mangaluru LNG pipeline. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that as part of efforts to make India a natural gas based economy, 10,000 more CNG compressor stations will be opened and several lakh piped natural gas houses connection will be given in the coming days. Very, very important information. 10,000 CNG based connections, stations will be opened in the country, and more PNG, piped natural gas stations will be opened. Inaugurating 450 km Kochi Kutanad Mangaluru LNG liquefied natural gas pipeline through video conferencing. That is what he did. Very important. Look, India has recently made another effort. Our ethanol blending proportion has been increased from present 5% to 20%. This also we discussed, I remember. Ethanol blending, ethyl alcohol, which is a byproduct of sugarcane agriculture. 20% of that will be blended with petrol, so that we can reduce our import bill of crude, and it is a very cleaner source of fuel. So, these are the different kinds of efforts that the nation take to ensure that our environment become cleaner, our energy sources become cleaner. India's economic recovery bucks global trend, says Finance Ministry. While the global economic recovery has been hit by a second waves of infections and more stringent lockdowns in several countries, India's economy is riding against COVID-19 wave with persistent improvements in the economic indicators showing V-shaped recovery. This is what the Finance Ministry has been saying all the time. We are going for a V-shaped recovery, meaning if this was the normal during the lockdown time, we came to the bottom, touched the nether, and now we are going back to the normalcy, and hopefully in the coming years it will reach the pinnacle. So, that is what the Finance Ministry says. They are heavily depending on the GST collections as a good indicator, but the recent report says that the direct tax collections touched the nether, and there has been huge unemployment in India. But anyway, we have to be very positive. We should believe that the concerted efforts by the government will take the economy back to its normal strength. The sixth question, please read the sixth question. Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary, Kolleru Lake and Krishna Sanctuary are in the state of are they in Karnataka, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh or Maharashtra? Give me the answer. Your time is up. I am awaiting responses from you. Already 3 options. Rose says option 5, Anaka says 4, Akhil Aravind says 2, Rajalakshmi 4, Ben John 4. So, more people vote for 4. The answer is 4. Andhra Pradesh is correct. Asian Waterbird Census has begun in these places. Asian Waterbird. Asian Waterbird Census has begun. Asian Waterbird Census has begun in these places, and these places are in Andhra Pradesh. It has become into limelight, so we should know. These places have received attention for the Asian Waterbird Census being taken here. That is why we should know. 2-day Asian Waterbird Census off to a flying start. A 2-day Asian Waterbird Census 2020 commenced in Andhra Pradesh on Tuesday under the aegis of experts from Bombay Natural History Society, covering at least 24 sites including Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary, Kolleru Lake and Krishna Sanctuary. Please read and take note. Supreme Court says no to intense judicial review. Not the court's concern to query government priorities. The Supreme Court says that refused to treat the Central Vista project as a unique one requiring greater or heightened judicial review. The Supreme Court's view is that there cannot be a judicial review on central government's development projects. This has been the latest verdict by the Supreme Court. Recent commentaries on Supreme Court's verdicts, critics criticized that Supreme Court has been, or courts of India have been, higher courts of India have been consistently inconsistent in coming out with verdicts, especially when they pertain to decisions by the central government. So, please read and try to understand. Supreme Court clearly says that it is not its job to deal with how the government thinks with regard to developmental projects. Union budget is set to be presented on February 1. Traditionally, Union budget was presented on February 28. This was the habit for many years, but now a few years ago the government changed it to February 1. The reason was that now the parliament gets more time to discuss the budget. More time to discuss the budget. They get 27 more days to discuss the budget. We know that the budget session of parliament will begin by the end of January, and the budget will be presented on February 1, not on February 28 any longer, February 1. And the parliament members will get more time to discuss the budget and make debates on the budget. You see, the financial year starts on April 1. So the budget has to be passed before April 1. So in between February 1 and April 1, the parliament used to get hardly 1 month to discuss. Since it was advanced to February 1, now the parliament gets a complete 2 months to debate. So parliament members will get time to learn the budget proposals and to present their cases in front of the parliament before the budget gets approved by the parliament. Vaccine firms bury the hatchet. There was an issue between the rivals Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech. Serum Institute's chairman, CEO Adar Punawala was made a very wrong statement. They communicated, he said that the vaccine provided by biotech is similar to water, stating the important task in front of them is saving the lives and livelihoods of India. Adar Punawala, Chief Executive Officer of Serum Institute of India, and Bharat Biotech Chairman Krishna on Tuesday issued a joint statement on behalf of the two companies communicating their combined intent to develop, manufacture and supply the COVID-19 vaccines. So there were some miscommunication by Adar Punawala. Now they have he has backtracked and said that they have come out with a joint statement. Okay, good. Question number 7, please. Question number 7. The Gulf countries have signed a solidarity and stability deal to end the 3-year-old ban they imposed on Daesh in 2017. In 2017, against which country a ban was imposed by the Gulf nations? Very good. The answer is Qatar. What is the capital of Qatar? Doha is the capital of Qatar. In 2017, the ban was imposed against Qatar for being too close to Iran and backed radical Islamist group. So the major concerns of other Gulf countries was that Qatar was too close to Iran, too friendly to Iran, too friendly with Iran, and it backed Islamist terrorist groups. So these were the major charges against Qatar by other countries. This particular ban was spearheaded by Saudi Arabia, and many other Gulf countries joined Saudi Arabia imposing a ban on Qatar. Mind you, Qatar is the richest country in the world. Qatar is going to be in the limelight for the years to come for conducting the FIFA World Cup in 2022. Okay, 2021 or 22, I don't remember. Gulf leaders sign a deal to end year-long dispute. Gulf leaders signed a solidarity and stability deal on Tuesday after leaders of Saudi Arabia and Qatar publicly embraced, bringing Doha back to regional fold after 3-year-old rift. Saudi Arabia had led a coalition of countries in the Gulf and beyond to cut ties and transport links with Qatar in 2017 June, charging that it was too close to Iran and backed radical Islamist groups, allegations that Qatar denied. Anyway, very important for peace in the Gulf that Doha or Qatar is readmitted as a friend of other allied countries. Thank you very much for watching the program. I am very sure that I take it for granted that you liked it. Please make sure that you go through the questions once again. These questions will be available in the daily Gyan section of our mobile application. I would like to remind you that the Staff Selection Commission has announced vacancies on behalf of the government. There will be good number of vacancies in CGL, the combined graduate level. The last date of application is January 31. Do not wait till the last moment and try to avoid the last minute data congestion and start seriously preparing. Our mobile platform has got a program for a combined graduate level examination. You may join, those who have not, and those who have already joined may study very well. Exams are coming. State Bank of India clerical examination is awaited. Let us hope that State Bank of India will stick to the guns and will conduct the examination, announce the examination in January, February. So we shall meet again at 3 o'clock with another session of our another live session of ours. Expect that. Thank you very much. Goodbye.